what motivated you to start KidZone? Because that's not like I feel like a mainstream business to choose, but it's an incredible business.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun too. I mean, that's probably the main reason. Well, there's a couple of reasons. We just had kids and we needed to pay for diapers, and we just had twins.
Okay.
Pay for diapers and formula. I remember adding it up one time. We were going through over 20 diapers a day, and
it's a lot of shit.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And formula, right? My wife couldn't breastfeed twins very well.
Oh, really?
So and it was like $500 a month more.
Gosh.
And we were young, and I was selling medical equipment, and it was going good, but we still needed more money. My wife was staying home at the time.
Yeah.
And that's when my buddy from church started talking to me about inflatables, because he had a place up in Kokomo. And I was just like, no, I'm not interested, and just kept telling him that I wasn't interested. And finally, it got to the point my wife and I started talking about it. We just was sitting around one night at the house, and that's when Craigslist was
big,
like a big thing,
yeah,
right? And she's like, hey, why don't you post something on Craigslist, and let's see what we can come up with. Well, we didn't have an inflatable, we didn't have a business, so we went to Craigslist. I posted, hey, something about doing inflatables at a pumpkin patch or a festival of some sort. And that same night, within like 2 or 3 hours, a guy hit me back, and he was down in Martinsville. He had a small farm, and he wanted to sell pumpkins. So within a couple of days, we had an agreement that we were going to bring inflatables to his pumpkin patch for the month of October. So I didn't even have a business. I didn't have an inflatable, had nothing. So
that's the way to do it right there.
So we got the business, and I thought maybe we could buy a couple. So my buddy Joe sells me this old slide that was dangerous, and now that what I know now, it was so unsafe, and no one should have been on it. Nobody should have ever been on this slide. It wouldn't hold air well. Seams were stretched. It didn't have tie downs. I mean, it could have blown away. And then I bought 2 new ones, and then I took my grandfather's 1991 S10 pickup truck with a broken steering column. And
those are great trucks, though. Those S10s, man.
It was amazing. I love that truck. And then I rented a U-Haul trailer. I bought the 2 new inflatables, took this old crappy one down to Martinsville and set it up and left it there for a month, all of them. So we took $5,000 credit card, a 1991 S10 pickup truck, and started a business.
That's awesome.
And that was 14 years ago.
That's incredible.
In a recession. And so we didn't make a dime at that pumpkin patch, by the way. It was like they were there for a month, and we got paid a little bit, but it wasn't. There was no profit there.
Yeah. So
we brought them back, and we had them in our garage all winter long, these few inflatables. And then we bought a couple more, bought some tables and chairs. And my dad's like, you're going to need a trailer. And so we got a trailer, and we got a little warehouse, and just kind of grew that way.
That's awesome.
And really just being kind of broke and needing additional money was where the business was birthed. And I think a lot of people birth businesses out of that.
Yeah.
You have the work ethic, you have a purpose and love entrepreneurship or business. And I loved all those, just didn't have money.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, I had a good job. That kind of kept me where I was comfortable, and I loved doing what I was doing and selling medical equipment. But for 5 years, I did both.
Yeah.
I sold medical equipment and grew KidZone until it was a nice-sized business, and then I was able to do that full-time.
That's awesome.
And then that's when it really took off, and it blew up. And here we are today, 14 years later, with a nice, fun business that does all kinds of cool things.